So I'm having a little bit of trouble getting it to capture the video here, so I'm going to take a second and see what I can do here. And there we go. Looks like it's capturing it now. We got a couple of servers to choose from. This is a new one that was added. These two are usually crowded, so I'm going to be playing on Uno. I've got starting a non-crowded channel. These non-crowded channels have fewer people, more enemies. So, class list. Everyone hops in some goofy way. Alright, Sorceress is still at the top of the poll, so I'm going to go ahead and go for Sorceress. Sorceresses are a short to mid-range dark magic class. So as you can see, the default image is a evil supermodel. That's actually a premium outfit. All three of the outfits are premium outfits, including the I don't know why she's wearing this and I don't know how it stays in place. And this one, which is actually kind of cool, but it's lacy in weird places. Otherwise, it actually looks kind of, leathery and actual outfit. This is what we will actually be starting wearing. As you can see, little talismans, glyphs, and such all over the place. As you level, you change up a little bit. For the most part, you stay evil supermodel, traveling the world. And then, of course, there's the underwear look, which nobody cares about. So I was goofing around earlier at Bailey Wolf's request to take a look at Beyonce, and I couldn't get anywhere near it. The character creator is both powerful and weak by turns. It's really strong. There's a lot of options you can play with, but it takes a lot of work to get anywhere with them. So you actually have to spend quite a lot of time mucking with this stuff. So This is a goofy one that I was working, a slightly goofy one I was working on. To create a slightly chubbier, slightly older person. As you can see, I got some worry lines around the face, broaden the jaw and the chin, the lips, nose a little bit. Probably need to goof around with the hair some more. And this is the most frustrating thing when you're customizing faces. Even if you pull the hair up, you get the little flicky things. So, skin, I can make her really shiny. I don't know why you would ever want to do that, but there's, as you can tell, a lot of various tones of white, and then you've got a few darker tones down in here. As far as customization, this is the kind of stuff you've got. Mess with a whole bunch of different settings here. Most of these are going to be a lot more obvious from here. Many of them are small. Others, however, I can grab that controller type and just start moving the face around. If you really want to have fun, turn off symmetrical. You can do things like, in asymmetrical faces, you can do things like broken jaws. Using this, you can actually adjust the broken noses and all kinds of stuff, messing with asymmetrical faces. They're kind of a pain to work with. Makeup. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. It's a giant set of fairly similar settings. Again, you can see all the blush options are not so great. Eye effect, you can apply them to either eye, so you can have one eye blown out, or not, as the case may be. You can also do various iris effects. And some lens effects, if you wanted to have smiley face eyes. I just personally think those are pretty goofy, but they're there. You can do things with them. So there's a couple others here. You get cat eyes. Weird glyph irises in various colors. You can get that to keep her staring at you. Eyeline, eyelashes. Facial tattoos. Facial tattoos are actually per class. Each class has its own set of tattoos available, so you can only get some of this stuff if you are a particular class or the Crow. I have no idea what invert does. Wrinkles let you, age the character pretty effectively, I think. They did a good job with those, at least. Standby expressions are hilarious. I can't get over that one. Duck face. Don't ask me why they have duck face. And just the weight, so that... Ew, that's just weird looking. And there's a standard face. One second, I'm just trying to get something functioning here. Alright, that's done. With those settings, as you can see, that's a Sark. So we have to choose a horoscope for some difficult to explain reason. Seriously, I don't know. If anyone knows, tell me. And we're going to take this sorceress into the game. Clipping. I just like to mock that. Could probably customize the body down a little bit, prevent that from happening. Nope, still happens. So let's just go ahead and call her. That's a good evil, quasi-evil sorceress name. It's not one. Let's see if it has its own stake head. That's what I figured. Well, I got Google over here. Wow. TV tropes and some really terrible recommendations. Try that one. It's already in use. Go Lavinia. Oops, spelled it. Another one, she'll come back.
Yeah.
Can't type. Just load the file, it won't take me. The wrinkles all the way up. No screen vibration. Screen vibration is evil. So loading screens all show the maps. They show a map of the area around you, where you are, that kind of thing. Which is actually kind of cool, because basically you can tell where you are based upon where the map is. Hey, Grips. See you watching.
Goma Naru is the central city of trading. Back when ships from Valencia would anchor in Naru, children would greet the merchants and fireworks would light the
Has
skies.
something to do with the game, but doesn't actually explain it.
Naru was a thriving city of sailors and merchants, and crowded areas were guarded by mercenaries. Little did they know what had arrived. Could any of these people know of the Elysian Stone?
Neither do I.
It is the mythical stone of the ancient civilization,
Thanks.
but the dark power it possesses has been hidden by that very civilization. At last, the Elysian was uncovered. A mysterious black smoke rose up over the ridge. It seemed to know exactly where it was headed. To Goma Naru. The Elysian Stone reverberated. People started to disappear all across Goma Naru.
That's what we're gonna
In the end, there was no one left, and that day was soon forgotten.
do. And we'll never mention it again. the primary quest giver for the overall game. It just tells you to go out and kill stuff, because killing stuff makes it stronger. That
Press the control key to turn the mouse on or off.
So the game is normally controlled like a shooter.
Then click the red button
Tap
on the
control,
received
go
quest
to
info
mouse.
menu to activate navigation
Key
for
will
that
actually
quest's
run you
destination.
auto route. If you have a quest selected, it will run you to the
The
quest
destination
area.
will be highlighted
if
by a
there is
huge
one.
pillar of light that you should be able to...
I am in charge of all the four-legged beasts in Novia. If you don't have a horse yet, you better at least get a donkey. There are a number of wild horses around here.
This is just all tutorial. Talk to
Well,
them.
I sometimes want to kick a horse's ass. You know what I mean?
Press the control key to turn the mouse on or off.
And this window pops up like 3 times. If I tap T here, it will automatically run me along the line to the next quest NPC. This only works for quests where you are given an explicit
Take a look at this fragrant
goal.
potion.
Sometimes you'll just be told, hey, there's something out there to the west. Go figure out what it is, and you'll just have to wander over there. Quests are in this game don't give a lot of XP, only the early ones do. It's largely because quests are for pointing you at grind spots where you can earn XP.
You don't need any tools to harvest grains.
So I was running around talking to these people. Talking to people,
Hello there, customer.
it gets you knowledge. Having knowledge gives you conversation options and other things like that. Conversation options are very important in the game because there's a whole lot of quests gated behind getting to know someone well enough
This
to
is Alvia.
chat with them and give them the interested enough in you to be willing to talk to you about a quest. Doesn't happen for a while, but it
I
does
got
happen
this necklace in
eventually.
BDO when I was young. Maybe this necklace is the cause of my granddaughter's
People in
nightmares.
this game are shiny.
If you really need it, I'd be happy to give it to you.
That would be a great help.
I'm too old to care about this kind of thing anymore, you know.
Voice acting.
Here you are.
Voice acting.
Thank you so much. We'll do everything possible to find the source of your granddaughter's nightmares.
Please, seek out Princess Durette and her investigation team at the ancient stone chamber. You're a new face. Are you from abroad? Jarette, the Princess of Hyrule, just visited. She's pretty annoying, actually.
So most of this stuff right now is functionally fetch quests.
If you have business here, why don't you talk to Grandpa Mills? Are you really an expert? You don't look like one to me.
I've investigated ruins across the continent.
I don't know why
Ancient
Dipti has
artifacts
horns.
are my forte.
They appear to be some
Everybody
sort of race
says
of
they're an expert.
deer
Could
people.
you have done all that by yourself?
Not by myself. I'm with an ancient language expert and some quality excavators.
You stand before Princess Jarette. You must mind your... Please understand that it's hard to trust you given the magnitude of the task before us. Return where you came from.
All right, then. This gemstone was recovered from the Valencia ruins. It was verified to be authentic by the Imperial Court.
It couldn't be. A gem of balance? They say it concealed the dark power, but I never thought I'd see one in my life.
Could this be what Sir Jordan is looking for? Fine. You are in charge of the Stone Chamber investigation. A fortnight. That's how long you'll have for the investigation.
Good. You'll see me sooner than that. Destiny must have led you here. Never stop seeking light, even in the deepest darkness.
So this recovers energy and grants contribution XP. Energy is used for crafting and learning skills when you're not at a vendor, that kind of thing. Contribution is used for something.
Experience will
tricky.
gradually reveal the way. Remember,
Basically
friend,
lets you
I'm Eden.
do things that you would not normally let you gather when you're not at locations, as long as you've got hierarchies.
mouse on or off.
And there it comes again. As you can see, each of these is a knowledge. If you have enough knowledge, you can chat with folks for stuff. Let's see, I don't believe this town has someone we can invest with, so I have to wait until we actually have contribution to spend. You invest a contribution in a node, and then that node can be exploited by you even whenever you have a hireling. It also lets you set up trade routes that you can either run yourself or run hirelings. The longer the trade route, the farther it goes from city to city, the more valuable it is. But you can also play there's a fairly intricate game of supply and demand between the cities.
Who the hell is Commander Croxus anyway? Did he get promoted to commander by breaking bottles? Isn't this just an excuse to drink more?
How do those horns get
Leave Olvia to the vigilantes.
Does he ever take it off?
We all have a strong attachment to this town. We should be the ones to defend our own land. All of us vigilantes look up to Croxus. We all have a strong attachment to this town. We should be the ones to defend our own land. Leave Olvia to the vigilantes. We all have a strong attachment to this town.
The dark spirit shows up again. And will generally point you at a quest location, especially for simple stuff like kill quests. But there's it right there. Nowhere near it. It happens actually very quickly. So you travel, the dark spirit travels with you everywhere. You can call up anywhere. So now I need to find some weasels and learn about them. I also need to... You guys survived long enough for me to do that. So once we do it, that one dies, which is boring. No AoE leading here, as you can tell with it all up. You can get a pet that will let you that will auto loot for you. One thing I can do that the game hasn't really told me about yet is shards of darkness. You get fragments of darkness from your attacks, which then give shards. The shard can be eaten, cover your MP, and give you a damage buff. It's a pretty significant amount, so. Titles. Titles don't really do much of anything. Once you get them, you do get stat bonus. So at least these Alright, let's track down some weasels. This has got kind of dark. Let me adjust my settings there. A little bit of situational awareness. So after a little bit, the game stops giving you the actual display of your keys you're hitting. And just gives you little lists. So now I know a little bit more about weasels. Knowledge is actually really strong, so without knowledge, all I get is a bar that changes color. Very good about keeping the cursor. So in these early quests, you get a lot of potions. Eventually, you'll gain the ability to swap potions in for different versions of them, which is kind of important. Okay, foxes are next. They kind of go through the list of small insects, rodents, foxes, wolves, imps, goblins, and then eventually shapers. That is a gathering spell. Gathering costs energy. It recovers 1 point every 3 minutes. It gets used for a variety of things, but most noticeably, gathering and crafting. It also earns you some gold and some other imports. It's plenty this week for foxes. So some quick notes. This is a stamina bar, health, mana. At in-game time of 2200, 10 p.m., monsters get more difficult to kill. So someplace in this neighborhood, there are foxes. That's what it's called. There are foxes. The dead fox. I don't know why because he doesn't. So I was going to it's memorizing the video I have to do. Fox, there. Pretty much annihilates anything I kill. Target. It does a lot of damage. So one of the big things the sorceress gets is this little buff upon devouring these shards of darkness. Increases significantly. But it means that you've got to fill it up every 20 minutes. Health potions and anytime there is a definitive place where they want you to go do whatever quest you're doing, shows it. And there's falling damage, so knowledge improves your damage and Cutting back the desktop audio just to make sure that the mic comes through clearly. Make sure nobody's having any trouble hearing me. This gives me a slight upgrade. As you can see, damage value, that's actually damage values. It's called attack power, but it's damage values. Things add directly to damage values in game. The numbers actually go up at a reasonable rate. You're going to start the game 6 to 10, you're going to end the game around 100. At least insofar as, you end an MMO. I'm going to take a few more health potions than I do anything else because they are overall more valuable. I can recover mana by nomming down my souls. And that also gives me my damage buff, which I keep forgetting about. It's very important. So now I'm done fighting imps, so it's time for me to fight steel imps, which are armored imps, basically. Low-level enemies you get knowledge for very quickly, high-level enemies you get it very slowly. If you're higher level than an enemy, you get knowledge for them very, very slowly. It's kind of frustrating. Completing all the topics for a area also gets you higher max energy, which is a nice bonus. Let's see here, I need warriors. Steel and warriors have hats. Here's a nice pappy, you guys.
Cliff is the hero of Heidel. Rumor has it, trees are moving deep within the forest to the south.
Hold on. It's great. Calm.
Defense is survival.
Where are you from? You an outsider?
I'm Luke from Valia. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Do you need some potions? Are you here to meet Captain Cliff? We all have faith in the captain.
You must be an adventurer. Do you need a weapon?
Trust me, he told me there's another imp captain. Tiny Nose told me.
Where is he?
A cave. The imp cave.
The search party?
On standby.
So it's in the northeast. You will go with him.
Yes.
If there's two imp leaders, this won't be easy. I am Captain Cliff, commander of the Western Guard Camp. Grand Chamberlain Jordine can't be trusted. Grand Chamberlain Jordine can't be trusted.
Ordinary men always obsess about their glory days. To stay alive, you must learn the appropriate skills.
Captain Cliff is the hero of Heidel. Not a single one of us has lost our pride.
This is Balanos, Western Gateway.
Testing. Is Mike coming through better now? Okay, Mike was not getting the gain I had set it at originally, so I had to adjust the game audio down a bit. Try bringing that back up a little bit and adjusting the gain a bit again. Make sure that I'm coming in clean over top of it. Yeah, I don't know if this is a very good mic for this. I have to adjust it a bit, I think. I just usually use this for vent and so on and so forth. I have a different mic that's a little closer to my face that might work, but I'd have to swap some stuff out. It's just a regular headset mic. I don't have a very good casting mic yet. That's something that's on my list. Where the heck is this thing dragging you to? Yeah, I've just been setting this up piecemeal. I just bought a new system and I verified I could stream cleanly with it, and just grabbed my headset. I've heard good things about the cave. Well, that's interesting. I don't even understand what the heck where the heck you're taking me. So apparently it decided to just drive me back to the original town, which I thought was a bit weird. And for some reason right now it's also not giving me my world map. Sure that that's not something I can bind or rebind. Doesn't look like it. It's got a full set of gamepad inputs, which is kind of nice. Right now I was running to a quest, and then I kind of got halfway distracted, and the Dark Spirit is floating off the screen randomly. So that's not supposed to be there. The Dark Spirit is supposed to pop up when he's got a quest for you. and do that little thing. But he's broken. So normally you just do this, and he walks up and chats with you, and if you've got a quest, he will talk to you. But now he's just kind of floating around. At this point in the game, it really hasn't told us what's up with it. In the next couple of quest lines, it gives you some hints. But basically, it's a little ball of adorable evil that for some reason is bugged and is just floating there on my screen. So right now it's got auto run on. The game will, if there's a discrete place for you to quest, it will let you auto run. Oh hey, chat with you real quick. Knowledge of people is really important. If a little goofy. Costuming is not great. I could drop out to character creation and show you there's about 6 outfits per class right now. And then there's 2 or 3 for-pay ones, some of which look good, many of which look dumb. I mean, once it's light out and you can see my character a little better. Basically, the sorceress gets weird things on one arm and some glyphs and stuff on the back, and just sort of dumb robes. Then there's the various, actually let me see if I can pull that up. What is that one anyway? That's not what I want. Do they have the money store closed? That's an interesting question. Yeah, looks like they have that function turned off. Not so far, no. The outfits generally fit in, with occasional exceptions. I mean, like, the sorceress has one outfit that's just basically there because somebody really likes underboob. But mostly they're flashy, but they kind of fit. If I could figure out where they put the real money store, if they even have it turned on right now. I think a little weirded out that it's not even showing up in here, unless I'm blind. I think they may just have it turned off pre-launch. I could drop back to character creation. I don't think we have too many people watching, so I'm not too worried. Always talk to anybody with a name. You need knowledge. So this looks like it's just a standard kill these wolves grinding area. There we go. So as you kill enemies, you get XP, you get skill points, so on and so forth. The marketplace is the auction house, yeah. It's just a pretty standard auction house. It's actually very important to auction house because the game does not actually have player-to-player trading, except on some very rare things. A few low-level items have player-to-player trading enabled. Everything else does not. On the principle that 65% or so of MMO tickets are people cheating other people on direct trades. So this is one of the quests that gives an inventory expansion, which is an extra inventory slot. There's also a weight limit. And entertainingly enough, if you can read that text, Weight of silver coins. Money has weight. You can, in fact, transform silver coins into silver bars, which consume slightly less weight but are less tradable. So, contribution XP. This is a biggie for getting crafting and stuff running. And then energy. That was a little weird, I guess. Now the error messages are wrong. That's an interesting bug. So from here, I need to chat with someone else over this way, I think. Oh, hey, you're telling me there's somebody over here that I don't know yet. These are all generically named soldiers, so I don't even know where the person you think I'm supposed to talk to is. Well, one of the things to keep in mind is that if you do a lot of random PvP, not structured guild v guild stuff or anything else, eventually you reach the point where you start dropping items when you die. So if you do a lot of banditry and get your karma down, you'll just drop stuff at random. Up to and including your silver. Alright. Let's see here. This one wants me to talk to the skill instructor. They got trainers in the game. You can learn skills from them. You can also learn skills in the field. Learning skills in the field costs you crafting energy effectively. Well, it's used for a couple of things. And a couple of quests. And wow, that hair appears to be violating the laws of physics. That's fantastic. But yeah, old school is a good way to describe the game. For trade nodes, with crafting nodes, anyone who invests in it can send hirelings out to use it. If a guild can drop a fort or a castle in a node, which causes them to tithe a portion of what gets done there, especially gathering and trade, back to them, and guilds can challenge other guilds' tithe ownership, beat down their castle, and build their own. You can't get locked out, but it will basically, when you use it, it will automatically throw something back to them. So when I was goofing around in character creation, wow, that's excessively bright. I'm a little older, so this is a sorceress, a dark mage type character. I'm not 100% sure if it's when they sit there, it automatically just takes a chunk of your production, or if it costs money. Nobody as of yet. If I could get into my map, that would be nice. Well, you can let me into the world map? That's awesome. Or if there's actually like a charge, a surcharge. Players can run a trade caravan, and you can kill the players and destroy the caravan. You can't raid the caravan per se, although they said that that's on their list of things to do. It's you do get some drops from the trade caravan because you actually load a trade route up with whatever you're carrying. It goes onto a horse, and then you lead, or a donkey really, you lead the donkey along the trail, you kill it, it drops a few of the items, but it's not so much, there's a lot less establishment there than with like the castles and such. A lot of those systems probably not going to come up tonight. It takes a little bit for them to show up, so just goofing around trying to get this dumb quest that they gave that my little spirit gave me. So I'm kicking boars to death, because that makes sense. They may also be introducing some modifications to the trade route systems in a later patch. They've got 2 zones to add for patches. The big ones being Media and Valencia. Valencia is a big desert zone that has a bandit town for low karma players to play in. Sork has a little bit of that, but it's also got options like this. You've got a bunch of okay short-range stuff, and a bunch of good short-range stuff, and some very long-range, some mid-range attacks. Oh good, I got nice knowledge on the Grey Boar. It is a little bit roguey, though. Yeah, it's definitely... Everyone wants to get back attacks. The game has 50% bonus damage on back attacks. There are some attacks called down attacks that do bonus damage to enemies that have been knocked down. There are air attacks that do bonus damage to enemies in the air. Those are a lot rarer. But so generally speaking, if you can, you really want to either be attacking from the back or a downed enemy and using those attacks, because they generally do decent damage, if not, you know, fantastic or astonishing. Each class also has its own set of combos, so they play pretty differently. As you can see, the auto-pathing is not the best. It is great for your ability to just sort of walk away. The combos aren't particularly hard. Like the one I was just practicing was shift left click, or shift left click F, and the timing is fairly generous. Freaking, there we go. So let me see if I can get... There's a way to show the there should be a way to show the actual keyboard inputs, but I don't see it in here. I know it's got to be in there somewhere, but it's basically just that's a simple combo. Some of the classes have more complicated ones. Generally you're going, the abilities are almost all on WASD, left click, right click, EF, and shift. Sometimes, oh wait, are you pulling me a different direction? They're usually two keys, and then you just have a fairly generous timing where you can link from one into the other. Some of the combos will do animation cancels to speed up how fast they go. They're good, but they're not mandatory. One thing that I did, one setting I did change, and I can switch this back so you guys can see how terrible this is. I don't even know why they did this. So by default, camera shake and after image effects are on about 50%. Doesn't look bad, right? Let me find something to kill. Well, where are you there? There you go. Jittery skin. Just good jittery stuff everywhere. For synergies, kind of a little bit. The big things are that you've got some classes that are very defensive. Your warrior, your Valkyrie, they tend to do very well in a group with other people who deal damage. The witch wizard has some group buffs and heals. The Valkyrie has some group buffs. Otherwise, it's mostly a matter of, you know, some classes have more down attacks, some classes have better crowd control, and you'd want to swap them around. Turn that back down because I hate the camera shake. But there isn't a lot of good stuff like, say, ESOs, class interactions, or anything like this class can set up something that makes it easier for another class. At least not so far. There are a couple of different ways for the various classes to increase damage taken on enemies and so on and so forth. But those are just kind of general. I wouldn't strictly, so you can call those synergies, so much as they do it for themselves and it happens to help everybody else. There are some folks who say that you really want a witch or a wizard because they are actually very effective. At giving a little bit more sustain so you can fight longer, and really good at AoE clearing. As long as you're... No, that was actually, I believe, the 7 a.m. announcement that monsters are back to normal. At 10 p.m. they get harder, they increase their damage dealt and become more aggressive. At 7 a.m. they get weaker and go back to being normal. Although I could be wrong. Let's make sure nothing shows up in the chat log. Yeah, nothing in the chat log, so. Death penalty is relatively low-key. I believe it's durability. Durability can get expensive to recover, but otherwise, I don't believe there's an XP penalty. As long as your karma's good, you're not really going to lose much. Accelerated one. Very accelerated. The one thing you're going to lose when you die is you put gems into your gear, and every time you die, there's a chance they break. Really good gems are uncommon but not rare, so they become expensive to replace if you're dying frequently. I don't know if you guys can see it clearly, but this is the timer. This is actually the in-game timer. Is 7:08 a.m. and it will go by. I think it's like a minute every 10 seconds or so. There's also a weather cycle that runs on top of the day-night cycle, and like 3 times a day there are thunderstorms that reduce all light on this to the minimum level and will flash lightning. You can put out a lantern to gain illumination. So that's the NPCs. So I interact with this and get a weird little cutscene. When's the last time you saw something that boded? Random murals of the ancients about the terrible catastrophe that ruined their civilization. Because ancient civilizations are always destroyed by terrible things that come back to haunt you. Let's see here. Let's go back to him. And now we have the best line of dialogue in the game. I don't know if the sound comes across well into the stream, but he's clicking them. Oh yeah, Blader and Plum are basically the same class. They're male and female versions. For some reason, it's one of those things that you kind of just have to deal with with Korean MMOs. At least they went with the traditional ninja and kunoichi. But like Tamer isn't really a proper Tamer Beastmaster class. It gets a pact with the Divine Beast Heifang. And eventually you can ride a giant jet black like foo dog, foo lion thingy. We'll eventually get that. We'll eventually get what's the other one that they did? We'll get the Awakenings, getting additional movesets for characters who reach a certain level. Like the Sorceress gets a scythe, because Sorceresses need scythes, of course. No, it is just this jet black foo lion kind of thing. I forgot when I created it. It shows up right on the character selection screen. I can drop out for a second and swap to show you what it looks like. Eventually you can ride it and do battle from its back, which is, you know, almost enough to make up for it. There we go. I can eat mana to turn it into health, and then kill things and turn the shards of their souls that I've eaten into mana, so, you know. I can crawl. That's actually kind of cool. I guess you could use that for PvP ambushes. I have not really tried a wizard. During beta, I tried Valkyrie, Sorceress, and Tamer, and Tamer was the one that really clicked with me. So I wound up spending most of beta with that one. And then, of course, I just ran the poll on RPG.net as to what class to try, and Sorceress won out. Really just not getting knowledge of those guys. I really need the young ones though, so I guess I can just stop killing them. Not sure. He keeps clicking the teeth. So these two have the same base stats, but this one, the second one has bonus health, so, and a different model. I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight, but one thing this sort of tickles me pink is the way the game treats mounts. Except for the tamer, who can summon their pet from anywhere because it's a weird, shadowy, divine beast. All the mounts are characters in the world. If you leave them somewhere, they can be attacked and killed. They level as you train them. And if you leave one in someplace, you have to come back to it to get it. You don't just put the horse back in your pocket and walk off. Or, well, when you start out, you get a donkey. Similarly, when you're putting together your trade empire, you are not personally making everything. You hire people and you have to obtain houses for them to live in, and so on and so forth. There's also warehousing. You can obtain houses, use them for warehousing, and when you do, anything that goes in that warehouse stays in that city. So you can actually set up different manufacturing pipelines in different cities. So this guy has more wolves he wants me to kill. I'm not going to complain about that. Most quests don't actually give straight XP. They give other benefits like skill points or skill XP. There's actually some debate as to whether or not you should do any quests that give skill XP or not, because they get there's a soft cap. The trade stuff can, especially if you've got someone who's good at running monitoring markets, can do money making, guild group money making. There's also guild group quests that can improve your guild boosts and such. Some guilds can give stat boosts and such that you can do as a guild. You can arrange bigger trade caravans and stuff. I'm not sure if those are those I believe are more passive than active, but. And as you can see, that player right there is a person carrying a trade pack. They're actually, I believe, out of stamina, so they can't move fast. So gear has durability. You can see here, I've had this militia amulet equipped for a while, and durability does not drop. I believe durability is only lost on death or failed enchantments. Your gear, as you enchant it, as you fail, it will lose permanent durability. You then sacrifice equivalent gear to restore it. As I understand, horse appearances are semi-random. The higher tier stuff tends to look a little goofy from what I can tell. I've seen one of the highest tier horses in the game. It's got like silver plate on it and stuff. But for the most part, I believe horse appearances are not fixed per tier. No, that's cool. That's something I honestly can say I don't know 100%. Basically, once you start doing horses, you can buy horses, I believe, from other people pre-trained, or you can go out and wrangle a wild horse and then run it through a training regimen, some of which is actively using it in play to improve it. And some of the really high-tier horses are not only substantially faster, but have options like that they can have carrying multiple characters or increased stamina when hauling packs and stuff like that. There's actually a video up on YouTube on a channel I follow from a guy who's playing this in Korea, where the person has him hop on their max tier horse and they ride off, and the game loses track of where he is, and suddenly the decides, okay, they must be flying, and just has them like shooting over a town in order to catch up with where it thinks they should be. So this is sort of a quest. Quest is sort of an intro to. Do you have any other gear that I should be equipping? An intro to the boss scroll system. Bosses can be summoned off of scrolls. And then killed. So I have to escort these porters. Not to the best of my knowledge. I don't believe you can steal people's horses. That's one I would actually need to investigate, though. I don't remember off the top of my head if there's anything like that in there. So this is a summon boss. Most of the world bosses in the game are done via summon scrolls. You earn a summon scroll, then you go and fight the boss that it summons, and they're kind of cool. Freaking mouse lost focus. Usually, basically, you can't exactly call in lots of them. Among other things, they don't actually interact with anyone not in the group. Yep. There we go. My group, if I had people in my group, they would care about it. Yeah, it doesn't really exist for anyone else, unfortunately. If you're in a later zone, end zone kind of place, you'll be auto-flagged for PvP, though, and you'll be open to being PvP'd during it, but you will not be... You can't, like, summon a whole bunch of them and then run off and leave them alone. Like if you have like 5 people each with a scroll, you can each summon it, get the drops from it. That was mid difficulty, I'd say. I've run into harder stuff later on. The main thing there is that I was just chugging potions constantly. They don't do a very good job of stopping you from doing that, but it does hurt. So right now I just gotta escort this guy. And he is slow. Yeah, the bosses, generally speaking, the most of the standard world bosses that you scroll up are summon that way are not too difficult. They're difficult, but they're not absurd. There's a couple of later raid type bosses that are in open world dungeons that you can A, be PvP'd into, and B, people can contest your tag on it by trying to get more damage onto it. So you got to deal with the double whammy there. Some of it's Twitch response, not a huge amount of it. I mean, I've just basically got to dodge what it does effectively using the abilities that I've got. It does... There's resource management, keeping my health high while, so that if he does catch me, I don't die, and using my mana efficiently. It's not that difficult to recover, but while I'm recovering, it's going to take the fight to last that much longer. This guy does not like it when I get past a certain distance from him. Here, he seems to like this speed. So I'm going to walk backwards. Most of the bosses typically have fairly long wind-ups on their big attacks. It's just a matter of, not making sure you're not in the way. They don't have like world animation indicators. They don't like do big glowy areas, so you just got to make sure you're out of the way when it spends a second and a half winding up or 2 seconds winding up. I like when I bump into them. Alright. So they can give me beer, soup, fish, or stew. Beer is required to recharge your hirelings. The player with the trade pack was probably doing that. It's something you can get an NPC to do, but you gain stamina, max stamina, and from I think some small max weight increases if you do it yourself. And you'll notice that beer sells for 1,000 silvers right now. You can cook beer too yourself. Go with the beer. So yeah, pretty much all of the crafting and such is something that you can get NPCs to do. As you get to the bigger and bigger towns, you can get rooms that let you put up NPCs in them to craft for you, putting crafting stations for the NPCs to use, warehouses for stuff, and you can assign NPCs to gathering nodes to gather stuff for you. But if you carry it yourself, it increases your maximum stamina. Stamina is what determines how long you can do this, which is, you know, a minor movement speed boost. And it also determines how long some of your dodges can be done, which is kind of important. So that was actually a quest that gave me inventory expansions, which I love, of course. But it gives it to me. It gave it to me instantly because I'd killed a few other characters and gotten knowledge about them. Yeah, I can show off the character creation screen. Actually, I need to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be back within 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll just drop back to character creation screen now. And then I can show off some of the stuff you can do there. Just go ahead and I'm just gonna mute my mic and step away for a second. And that, incidentally, right there, that is the Divine Beast. Like I said, it's a weird sort of almost jet black foo lion. So I'm stepping away for a moment, and I'll be right back. And back. Sorry about that. Ran out of water and my throat was starting to get a little parched. So, one of the things that sort of amuses me is that each of the classes get shown in a sort of a premium outfit for them. And we also do this goofy, let me run at you thing. And Valkyries get the worst outfit. If there's a class you'd like to see me mess around with in the character creator, let me know. Well, so yeah, I'll flip back to them a little more slowly. It's mostly showing off the goofy they jump at you animations, but so the first thing I'm gonna do before I mess around with it is these are the various cash shop outfits you can get. This one is almost good except the midriff. It's got, you know, actual boots. It looks like it's actually made out of leather. This one is just dumb. That one wasn't in the closed beta and it's terrible. Oh my god, that's a terrible outfit. Oh, okay, so they're worse than I remember. Because I mean, normally the Ranger outfits are very similar with a few little changes. This is, I believe, their highest level, some of the high level gear for them, which is, you know, actually pretty decent. You've got leather leg coverings, you got a chest plate, you got arm coverings. You know, it's not for MMO stuff. It's okay. Of course, as you notice, view helmet is checked. None of this has helmets. Now, this is going to be your starting outfit. Which again, the stockings are kind of a bit much, but it's a tunic. It's a short tunic, but it's a tunic. And the nice thing is when I select that, I can then go through character creation with the character wearing that. And the hair can be adjusted. There's a whole lot of hair options, including stuff like this, where you can just do weird physics-defying stuff with the hair. I believe that chest and legs are separate. It shows them as one thing in here, but they are separate. You can mix and match them. The hair also has some options, like you can adjust curliness of it, which just winds up looking kind of dumb in my opinion, but it's there, right? And the body has all the usual stuff. You actually... So, and this is one of those things that I actually like. Let's raise the hair up real quick. This checkbox right here is absolutely fantastic. Get that node. This node lets you do stuff with the face like it's talking. So there are some limits on the sliders, but you can make deformed creatures that beg for death. There's a YouTube series, Monster Factory, that did the warrior. Yeah, you're not going to get quite as extreme, but they did do a few things. I'll go ahead. I don't have a problem with that. There's the Monster Factory, when they did this game, they chose the warrior and they made Porth Samson. He started out looking kind of like Bart Simpson, and then he got worse and worse and worse. I can't do it. Here we go. So you could actually, like, adjust the character joint by joint. I'll go ahead and back out here. Yes, I do not want to save that person. So your guys are asking for wizard. So yeah, on here they pretty much show them all with cash shop. So that's actually not a bad outfit in my opinion, but it's a cash shop outfit. So your wizard basically starts looking like this in his bathrobe. First couple are all fairly similar, and then we start getting into these, which you start getting patterns and stars and arcane stuff drawn on it. So I've tried making a young wizard and I haven't had a lot of luck. I know it's got to be possible. And for the most part, the wrinkles and stuff are baked in. You can make him more wrinkly. Why you would want to do that, I don't know. Make him more shiny. Yeah, computer games. Korea. I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but it's so Korea. The nice thing is, this is about as young as you could get. So you can get like a rough late 40s. And that's the thing that kind of gets me, because let's bounce on in on Witch. Come on. Finish doing your little gesture. Start with the simple stuff. Add wrinkles. Darken the skin a little bit. Lengthen the chin. Move forward. This one. This. Sink in the cheeks. And I can get, especially if I darken the skin a little bit more. Come on. If I change the hair to be, you know, a little less blue, get a halfway decent, you know, aging woman in there. Ah, yes, that's the other thing I need to do. It's been a while since I tried messing around with that one. Face shape. Let's see here. If I can remember the trick to thinning the lips. There we go. I need to adjust. Got the symmetrical. I adjust these down, then I just close her mouth. Probably thin it out a little further, but yeah. She's got wrinkles. She has seen some stuff. I'm pretty sure all the mage stuff is basically pajamas. I think that she actually uses the same models for most of hers as the male mage does. Just all pajamas. In a lot of ways, yes, it is. Yeah, gray hair, wrinkles. You can get further. There's a really entertaining one where somebody basically turned her into a Disney evil witch. There's also, where's that one under its face? The standby expressions, which determine the expression your character is going to have when they're just standing there, which are just plain doofy. That's my favorite. For some reason, you can get that. Any other classes you guys would like to get a look at? So of course the premium costumes are actually really good for warrior in my opinion. You've got some cloth, some chain visible, and some plate. And all of them actually come with their own weapons and such that match the costume. But then you get your regular costumes. You start out as Farm Boy. Add a layer of leather, a breastplate, add some more armor, and some more armor. And I have no clue where that's from, but I don't think that's actually the high level outfit this one is. So as always, warriors get good costumes. I'm actually rather fond of the fact that you can see some of the ties, because those might have actually been there on some of this gear. Right, I'm more talking about stuff on the shoulders, but yeah, you wouldn't see the ties on the outside of plate unless you were looking at certain eras, but there's some really doofy stuff in mid-eras with stuff tied to jackets. Valkyrie. And that dumb costume. Base costume? Not great, but this I just... So first off, we've got the high heels. Second off, we've got what looks like metal on the legs and a plate here, and then not anymore. There's actually more premium outfits. There are some that are themed, not themed for classes. I get showed up, but yes. What is going on there? Seriously. I like most of her swords because they're, reasonable. Well, that one's a little goofy. And she uses nice little tiny bucklers. But seriously. Yes, although at least if you're playing one, you mostly aren't going to see it. I really do think that's the actual inspiration, and part of why she has some sort of vaguely paladin-y things. Yeah. Yeah, I suspect one day that'll happen. Until then, I guess the best we'll get is Terra, which at least has, shirts open to the waist and male characters wearing belly plate. And we're saying that that's the best we're going to get. We've got, oh my god, it's bad. Why did the game decide to zoom right in on her chest? Do I have to ask? The thing that cracks me up about the Berserker is that each of these zones of hair, his eyebrows, his head, his cheeks, and his beard are completely different. They've got good texture artists. They've got very good texture artists, in my opinion, which is why it's a little bit of a shame that so many of these characters have female characters have terrible outfits. You've really got, Cash Shop outfit, but her regular outfits are actually halfway decent. I think this one's the starting one. Low defense, acrobatic character. Actually, in mostly practical gear with pants. This is also my favorite class. It plays very nicely, in my opinion. It's a little weird, but it's the summoning the holy beast. You only really get to summon it around level 20. Then it runs around with you. Otherwise, you're just pulling like its claws into the world for your heavy attacks. But yeah, that is not necessarily realistic, but well done. It gives the impression of armor without being too fancy. It does most of its fanciness in surface detail, and it doesn't show off a whole bunch of skin. Why they can't do that for everyone, I don't know. And just because it's comedic, look at that outfit. She has fishnets on. They're terrible. There is a dye system. It's terrible. I expect that in a few months, weeks, it'll be changed. There are common dyes that can be manufactured in-game. There are rare dyes that can only be gotten from real money lockboxes, so they're random. Each dye is good for one application, so you can't necessarily, if you need a rare dye to finish off a costume, you need to dye 4 or 5 pieces. So you might need a whole bunch of rare dyes. So these are the standard ones. I'm going to come back to these because she has one of the worst costumes in the game. Now, your standard stuff. That's her weapon there. And she's got a second piece of weapon that goes on her back. So that's actually what these like skulls and stuff are in these bracelets. So there's this. She starts out with pants and actually keeps them. I guess they're more tights, but they look pantsy there. She does have Final Fantasy syndrome in that she is covered in belt buckles. This one is, I think, her endgame costume, because it has so many extra belt buckles. Then there's this custom outfit, which I actually like this one on the whole. It's not good, but it has pants. It's got some a cool looking glove. It's kind of made out of leather. And then there's this one, which was designed by someone who very clearly needs to get laid. Whoever designed this needs to get laid. It comes with the tattoos. They are part of the outfit. And the high heels. And the fishnets. So I'm switching away from that now because I'm embarrassed to have it on my screen. As I understand, there may be 1 or 2 costumes that are not in here, but I haven't seen them, so. So those are the 3 premiums. This one, and this one are the 3 premiums. The terrible ones. Yeah, there aren't a lot of good fashion opportunities. Unless you like, you know, being smexy or being this. He has a snout on his belt. Yeah, so he starts off like this. Dual axes, berserker style. He has mittens. So Crowfall hasn't really gotten to the point where I'm sold or unsold on it. It's not here yet. So the big things for me is that this is got a strong action combat element. It's buy to play, so I don't have to worry about monthlies or anything like that. Wildstar, I want to like it, but it's just never clicked. I enjoyed playing it with RPG for a while, but I suspect I was enjoying it more because I was playing it with RPG than anything else. I haven't had any of the classes click with me. There's also strong issues I have with their early handling of raid content and putting it behind severe walls. So I just don't. I'm not really in a position. I keep trying to go back. I would try to go back to Wildstar a couple of times, and it never clicked with me. Over the beta weekend, I clicked pretty strongly with this, which is part of why I started talking about it and I'm streaming it. And so I'm looking forward to spending time with it. For me, there's also the sandboxy elements, the structured sandboxy elements. I was talking about Wildstar. Grib had asked me about it. I enjoy sandboxy elements, but a lot of games tend to fail to build much else, and at the very least here I've got a combat system I really do enjoy. So there's that. Yeah, Wildstar has a little bit more action than WoW, I guess, as I say, but not that much. And it really wants to be Space WoW aesthetically and storyline wise and writing wise. Not much else I can say there. I don't mind that so much. I mean, I got a character level cap, but I just did not have the energy to start doing raiding and such in there. So there isn't a lot of openly objective, like there's not like a bunch of random objectives. There's the castle battles where a guild takes over a node and somebody challenges them, and the world bosses that show up later on will have that as well. There's also Guild v Guild Wars, but otherwise there isn't anything like the old was it what are the Plague Lands in WoW, where they had the 4 towers you tried to take or anything like that. It's mostly guild oriented. turning a giant into a pretty boy is kind of difficult. Let's see here. That looks doofy. What the hell is this thing doing? What broke there? I don't know if something broke in the face there. So the biggest issue here is definitely going to be the chin to get a pretty boy out of this. I can cause him to gain hair. So I'm pretty sure I could spend some more time working on this and get closer. There's probably some other stuff in here. Make him shiny. Yeah, unfortunately, you're not really going to be able to get Ishy out of this. He's coated in olive oil. I'm gonna turn that off. There's also the height slider. You know, it never even thought to me to ask why there was a shine slider. There we go. He's got more reasonable feet now. Yeah, the posture thing is... I don't know. It's a little weird. I actually kind of like this. This is a cool design. The grin is a little bit much, yes. Also, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that hair and his eyebrow. I may need to lighten up the eyebrow. Okay, that's just crazy. I can shorten his eyebrow hairs. So it is, yeah. Actually, I can see his hair through his hair. It doesn't even give me any hair customization on this character type, it looks like. That lock is there no matter what I do. Yeah, that lock of hair is just there. The metal things distort. They are not metal. At distance, he looks good. So I can actually just export that and move it from computer to computer for people to use, which is kind of nice. Oh, that looks terrifying. Alright, anything else you guys want to see? should I go back to trying to spend some... Yeah, there, you can do stuff like this, and then zoom way out. See if I can get him to stop. There we go. And then if you zoom in, he sees us. The way he turns his head. So is it this one? Okay, that's just pouting, but... So back to the sorceress. Zoolander the giant. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So I believe Velius counts as a city, so I need to find the node manager here so I can invest in a few. It's what the thread voted for. I may switch off of it if, you know, people don't seem interested in it, but... Get quests, run around, do things. Marketplace. You can spend energy to throw things in the marketplace from outside of town and then run into town to actually put them on the marketplace. So here there are. The blacksmith, who for some reason gets a cinematic intro. He's shiny. Yeah, I'm skipping that. I have no clue what's going on there. I don't have anything that needs repairs, so parking. This is a very popular fishing spot, as you can see. People park all over the place here. There's somebody up there to talk to, anyone down here to talk to. Horses, basic horses, I don't know. I'd actually have to check the auction house. They're not just random. There's not like a vendor. And you have to reach a certain point, after which you get a donkey. And then you can ride that for a little bit to reach the point where you can capture and train horses. Endgame gearing is a mix of, you can grind bosses, you can craft some of it, you can, you get like a base, like little 48 set just from questing. If you upgrade that, you upgrade a level 40 set to 48 if you upgrade it, and then turn it in through questing. Then you can manufacture a mid-grade level 50 set by extended crafting, or you can grind certain bosses for drops. The drops themselves are fairly high rate, as I understand. The big thing that hurts them is that you have to get the drop multiple times in order to keep enchanting it, or use other things to enchant. So let's see here. Does anyone actually have... Let's see here. Donkeys are currently running about 5,000. I have 5,000 just from doing this. Let's see here. Does anyone have... I don't see anything else in here for sale yet. Wagon registrations, nobody's got them yet. I'm guessing nobody's really doing anything else with horses. And basically, you can push yourself hard to get the high-end drop stuff, or you can use the middle tier crafted stuff, and the difference isn't that big. The big key is that you've got to constantly enchant. Gear starts off at +0. You need to enchant up to +15, which requires moderate reagents and can fail. Every time it fails, maximum durability on the gear goes down. You can sacrifice the same object, not necessarily enchanted at the same level, but the same base object, to restore some of that. That gets expensive. That's the work supervisor. This is the guy who can sell you worker contracts. You use those to send people around. I haven't actually gotten any of the nodes unlocked, so I need to do that before I really can use workers. You can also spend contribution points on housing. And if you're going to do a lot of crafting, it's absolutely necessary. And we got the skill trees. This is kind of an optional one here, Abyssal Flame. I know some people who swear by it, but it doesn't generally fall under what people say to bother with. Absolutely need that one though. To get houses, you spend what are called contribution points. You get contribution points by doing quests, leveling, etc. And then you invest them in a house, like, say, this one. So I can just go right here and expend contribution points. In this case it wants 4 and 500 silver coins. And it'll take 5 minutes, and this will do put a refinery in, which can be used to refine items. I can make it a residence, which I can decorate. I can put furniture and processing tools into it. I can also just take it as storage, which increases my warehouse storage. So where is... It's not giving me a list of where I should, who I need to talk to for this stuff. No, I don't own any of these houses yet. Each house has one purpose, so I can purchase it for one thing. But if you see here, see how there's this house. If I get this house, I get 1 room. So to correct myself, there are some places that have multiple rooms, so I can get room 1. If I unlock room 1, I can unlock room 2, and then I can unlock room 3, and each of those can get a separate thing. Each room can be either purchased and upgraded in specific ways, or can do something specific. I don't own any houses here yet, but I can purchase any of the blue ones. The gray ones are locked behind another house. So this house unlocks this house, unlocks this house, and each one has their own contribution requirements. If you need to get rid of a house or you want to move stuff around, uninvesting, you lose the silver you spend on the thing. Like, so if I purchase this, it costs 500 silver, that's gone, but I get back the contribution points. They're only invested, never spent. At high levels, you can have hundreds of them. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of warehouse storage here, and this is important, the warehouse storage is here. If I drop stuff in here and walk away, it stays here, in this town, specifically. Saying I got a better weapon? Oh yes I do. Some houses can be bought at several levels. This one has 2 levels for storage and house ranch, literally 1 for weapon, armor, or residence. Yeah, one of the things that you do is you may just purchase, as you invest your way across the across nodes, is if you build links of nodes between cities, that's when you can do your NPC trade routes. The longer they are, so going across the continent, the more profitable they become. Where you can set up specific ones involving specific trade goods, you may be able to get higher profits, but trade good value should go up and down. I'm running back now to a node to see if I can invest in it, because it's telling me I don't need to invest in Valia. So I know that the next, one of the next big zones that's coming up is Valencia, which is a desert. As far as I know, there's like this zone and a mountain zone, and not much else. This one is intermittent, rocky, outdoors stuff, basically. Standard, I guess, Greek or Italian? So yeah, so what I can do here is I can invest in here. And I can spend a point here, and now I could hire somebody and have them go potato farming. Most of what I see in screenshots and stuff looks like this, except like there's a mountain zone. I believe that's the next one, and then there's an actual desert. That's the third zone. Yep. What I do is I just hire a guy and then set him on that work, and he'll just throw the potatoes into my warehouse here. So the yeah, desert is not included in the original release. Oh, that's cool. So you get a random worker. Goblins work faster, but have less stamina. Humans work an average speed, have average stamina, and you can get giants that work half speed, but have 8 times stamina. As a result, if you put a goblin on a task that's going to take a while, they'll finish it once and then require you to fuel them back up. If you get a giant and put them on a task that's going to take a while, they can do it 5 or 6 times. You get 1 free worker, and then you need to start providing rooms. And now I have a goblin worker who is getting me potatoes. And as you can see, it's got a time thing. The idea is that over time you can get you get a number of rooms. You can have a whole bunch of workers. They're all constantly doing stuff for you, and you just need to check on it intermittently while you go off and do other things. Important to note, yes, the furniture dealer sells actual furniture you can put into a house that you've reserved as lodgings. Let's see here. Anyone else I need to chat with? As you get knowledge about people, your maximum energy goes up.
I once dreamed of being a great adventurer. I eventually ended up back home. I still can't let go.
So this is one of those goofy things. In order to get knowledge, she tells you, talk to this guy. So you talk to him, and he gives you knowledge, and then you have to talk to her. And that's all necessary for you to go on to unlock various things in this town. Let's see here. way up there, or I gotta work my way back around. Destroyer soldier. Anyone up here have names? Nope. You can also spend energy to talk with people to gain knowledge topics from them. I'm not really bothering with that right now. No, I'm trying to talk to, there we go. And now I know about cats. So now someplace out here are some goblins that I'm supposed to kill. Oh, I wish. Combat elephants would be awesome. So these are the right guys? Yes, they are. I don't need to fight him yet. I pissed him off. Yes, that is a human in a goblin costume. Glove upgrade. Hey, check out these teeth. Need cauldrons and watchtowers. So in the classic MMO process, not fully red doesn't attack. Find one of those. This guy. What the hell is he doing? Normally these guys attack you when they see you. Over time, the game includes more aggro enemies. A lot of these guys are not very aggro at all. There we go. He was just way out of position for some reason. Yeah, that's what I think was happening, is he wandered out a little too far. Yeah, it's basically as the game goes on, you of course get more and more aggro enemies. Early on, it's all non-aggro, just so you can train, and later on you get more and more enemies that aggro, camps you have to be careful with, that kind of thing. Convert mana to HP. Recover mana. He's probably going to tell me to do some more stuff with goblins. Yep, more stuff with goblins. And he gave me... That's actually a nice weapon. Armor upgrade. And a ring. And a necklace. Oh hey, something has just decided to attack me. Goblin Shaman and Elite Soldiers. Head contribution, I could unlock this node for some kind of gathering. But I need to get more contribution before I can do that. So it's pointing me this way back at town. Ah, I see what it's pointing me back there for. I'm not headed back there yet. So as mentioned, autopathing, as always in any MMO, is not ideal. On the other hand, it is not bad. I don't mind autopathing, especially in worlds this big. That is very inefficient, but safe. So this is the map. This is the area I've already discovered. This is the zone. I'm pretty sure I can get higher than that. But yeah, it can take a while to cross. There is no fast travel. The best you get is fast horses. Well, I do need these guys, so... No problem. I appreciate you coming and watching. It's been quite a bit of fun. I'm glad I got to actually show a few people, and hopefully I'll be making this a regular thing. Need a shaman kill. There we go. There you're a shaman. I'm actually gonna head back to town and then probably log off. I've reached the point. I got a meeting tomorrow morning I have to make, so I have reached the point where I'm probably just gonna stop streaming and start prepping to pass out. I always take way longer than I ought to for that, so it's like close to back on road. So for everyone watching and anyone watching this on YouTube after I get it uploaded there, that's been Black Desert Online. I hope you enjoyed it. You may want to head over to Twitch because I spent a whole bunch of time answering questions in chat. Thanks, and see you guys around.